Bam. The Russians, they're falling from the sky.
I think they're a little off course.
I love that the teacher who walks outside and he just like like, what in the tar nation?
Mr. Teasdale.
Mr. Tisdale.
Well, it looks like we got a couple people in the chat. They haven't said anything, but it says we got people here.
Sweet.
Tonight's live stream is brought to you by Ammo Supply Warehouse, the fine purveyors of Freedom Seeds. Tremis 10 gets you $10 on any order over $100.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I do believe there is another discount code for them that might even be better.
It's true. It's true. There is discount code for Bulletin 11, which will save you $11 off of every $100 order.
That motherfucker.
You know, it's not every day that I get to one-up you on something, but when I purposely reach out to our friends and say, hey, listen, man, I need you to give me something that just for the sake of getting under Gary's skin. And you know what? It seems like our friends really respond well to that.
They do. And I have to admit, it has exactly the opposite effect of getting under my skin.
I know.
It makes me proud of the both of you. Because I can respect, like, hey, that's good. And that's what that falls under. Like,
yeah. And
hey, that's good.
And it's not like it screws you over. It just helps people with an extra $1.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally down. Totally down for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're also sponsored by Ammo Supply we are sponsored by Ammo Supply Warehouse. Liveshat's also sponsored by a little further over, Five Rivers Armament. Shinday has the best fucking gun shop in southeastern PA. And if you order a Tremis Dynamic Signature Rifle from Midwest Industries, coupon code Tremis saves you 10%, and have it shipped there to do your transfer, he'll do the transfer for free.
Wow. He's a good guy, that Shinday.
He didn't even know that was a thing. I just made it up during a live stream, and the next day he's like, I guess I agreed to that. I said, I guess so.
I guess, yeah. Free transfers for Tremis Dynamic Signature Series rifles at Five Rivers Armament.
He is right now at Sonny's place, so I'm sure he's not tuned in. But back kind of along with our theme of friends one-upping each other, he said, I want to sponsor your live shot. He said, but I want my logo to be just a little bit higher than Becker's. And if you notice, the top edges of those two,
they sure are.
Mm-hmm, that was on purpose.
Just a little bit higher. You know, it's funny you mentioned both of those because they're such good guys. They also sponsor the Berm Limits podcast too.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and that's not even in competition.
No,
because that's a podcast where this is a live stream.
Exactly.
Totally different things.
And even when we do the live version of the Berm Limits live, it's purposely on Fridays so that it does not interfere with other people that we really like.
Nice. Very nice. That does make it difficult when I'm like, what day do you do stuff? And what day can I do stuff that fits in with my actual schedule?
Right. As a matter of fact, a small plug, next Friday, we are doing a Berm Limits live. It's our first of the year, sponsored by Midwest Industries, also friends of both of our channels.
Very much so.
Very much so. Love those guys. I just talked to Pete today.
Same.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
So he's going to be sending me some shotgun stuff, a stock for an 870 and a 590, because we're having like the shotgun discussion with Mr. Zach Bush next Friday. So
I have to is that like 2 days from now?
No, next Friday, the 15th.
Next Friday. Okay.
Yeah. Or 14th, whatever that Friday is next week. We're having Zach on and we're going to be talking shotguns and giving away some shotgun stuff from Midwest.
All right. I'm looking. All right. The night before the fish workshop. Perfect. I will be available to heckle the chat box. I will have the best shotgun questions that you could possibly imagine.
Oh, awesome. Yep. Gonna be talking shot. I mean, I know how you roll with shotguns. You're gonna be like, what is the best shotgun, and why is it a Sig P365? Like,
yeah. You know what? If you get like a transferable machine gun, for every press of the trigger, you can get 30 55 grain 22 caliber pellets with every press of the trigger. That's
a
like way
shotgun.
better than number 4 buckshot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I personally really like 9mm, like 55 or 115 grain slugs. Like that's the that's my preferred slug size.
All right. We got some good folks in the chat. Tim Larson's here. Adam Hall's here. Will Crutcher's here.
Tom
Holliby's here.
Hello, sirs.
What's the best semi-auto shotgun, and why is it an AK? Actually, the old Sega 12 gauges, the mag-fed ones, man, I wanted those things to be awesome. And they were, up into the fact that everyone I saw that had one had some issues with them running. And I was like, well, this is not very AK-like. But man, I was real stoked about those before they, disappeared into the netherworld.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Eckenrode is here trying to score himself a free pistol.
Dustin. I haven't seen Dustin in forever.
I know. Since
we kicked him out of anything that he could win.
He's like, I can't win the grand prize. Fuck you guys. I talked to Pete today. They are sending a some type of rail.
Nice.
Wasn't specific. Hopefully it's a night fighter for the new Unit Solutions rifle that we have here that we're going to start integrating into fish stuff.
Nice. Is that does that take any like standard AR type rail? Like, does it have a barrel nut that
yep.
or okay?
They actually one of the offerings they have when you buy it from Unit Solutions is with a Midwest rail already installed.
Oh,
like if you, I want to say like the 14 and 16-inch ones come like stock with a plastic handguard, or you can spend a couple bucks more and get like a UTG rail or something like that, or a few dollars more and get a Midwest rail. Mine's on the few dollars less and came with no rail, no stock, and like a A2 grip and trigger guard. And I think that they have like the ones with good rails have a little upgraded mag pull stuff on the end too.
Sure, but you could do all that.
I was like, I have fucking totes full of stuff. What I didn't have is a tote full of a short rail. So I had a longer rail here, but it's only a 10-inch barrel. So, and my new first wave inert silencers are off at Cerakote, so I don't have a can to put on it yet, but I will shortly.
First wave inert silencers?
Yes.
Wow.
6-inch long hub thread in the back, so you can put whatever adapter you like on it, and they will come in blue, and that's pretty much the ticket. I also got one coming in yellow for my own gun, but
you gotta have a little something yellow. That's your signature.
That gun's also going to have a yellow grip stop on it, so might as well. So Will says he looked at it online. Yes, it's a CO2 cartridge. It is not a 12 gram. I want to say it's 20 grams of CO2, so it's not the typical 12 gram like BB gun cartridge. And I may actually have some expended T-packs. I don't see them, but they were in this room. And then it's got a spring-loaded thing that holds the ammo. When I got the sample 2 years ago to play with, you could not reload those ever. Like you threw the whole T-pack away. The magazine, I should have brought it up. It's aluminum, and it like you drop this plastic T-pack, they call it, in there, and it has the ammo and the CO2 in it. Now you can put a new CO2 and more ammo in the T-pack. and then the T-pack goes in the mag, and then mags go in the gun. I know it's a lot of steps there, but you couldn't reload the T-pack, so I don't exactly know how that works, because I got the gun today, and I got a magazine, and I got no T-packs or ammo, because it turns out you have to actually order that stuff when you're on the website doing the things, and oops.
You just ordered the gun?
Yep.
Incomplete.
Yep. Well, it wasn't a big rush, because the plan is to get it, use it, and not really integrate it fully into fish classes until I have more than one.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't really help to do force on force if only one person has the force. So
It's force on no force.
yeah,
It's like Darth Vader walking through a hallway.
exactly.
Which movie was that?
Rogue One, end of
Rogue
Rogue One.
One. Yeah, the end
Yep.
of Rogue One, and he's just like slaying everybody in the room. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's force on no force.
It's like a video game where you take your maxed out character and go through the tutorial again. Tony Gallo is here. Hello, sir.
Slaying younglings.
Um,
Isn't Tony down in Texas too?
I don't know. I don't know what crew of the Estonianites all went down to.
I think there's a bunch of them. I know both of our sponsors are down there.
Yes, and Shinde took his boy with him, and then after that, I don't know who all went.
Yeah, a bunch of people. I know.
Bunch of cool guys.
Oh, he is down there. Well, say hello to everyone for us, Tony.
Tell them they're gay and retarded.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. We can say that now.
Why won't the thing show up? There it is. Every time I say gay and retarded, I try to make that pop up there.
So somebody asked about the Force on Force collab weekend that you're doing with Andrew.
Oh, yes. Just chat. Oh, chat. I thought it said chat, and I thought it was an automated thing. Sorry, chat. So in, let's see, April, it is Easter weekend. So it is like 19, 20, 21. There are 3 single-day Force on Force classes that Andrew Smershemecker and I are doing. Be predominantly airsoft.
Seems like an opportunity to throw the unit solutions in there too. Maybe.
Ooh, you do a little rifle stuff. Yes, because by April I should have some bullets, and
hopefully by April.
And that rifle uses, you can have little paintballs, 8mm paintballs, or 8mm solid, like they're like airsoft but bigger and heavier because they're 8mm instead of 6.
Yeah, I'm sure those don't tickle.
And the paint marking rounds mark way better than UTM or SIM. A lot more material that it leaves all over. And for those of you who give a shit, Nelson is the company that makes the little paintballs for them. And I always had great luck with Nelson paintballs way back decades ago when I actually played paintball, and Nelson made paint for paintball. They encapsulate, gel caps there at Nelson, and they make the ones for unit solutions. I asked because I was like, oh, I know the players in this space. Who's doing that for you? So anyhow, we're doing the 3 days there. It's all pistol. We are doing 3 different classes, and Proving Grounds is the first one, and then Killing Fields is the second one, and the third one is The Art of the Bad Guy. I named that one, I think.
Where are those? Where are you holding those?
Those are up here in Mount Carmel at the Dark Side Range. I used to just call it the Dark Range, and now I'm calling it the Dark Side Range because it sounds cooler on the dark side.
It's one of my favorite snowboard shops. It's called Dark Side.
Oh, nice.
There's some sticker. We can maybe usurp some stickers from them and just start putting in places.
Oh, put them all over the range.
Yeah.
I actually put a couple stickers on the range yesterday because I stopped by there. Spent some time walking around the woods, and I dropped a couple glow-in-the-dark stickers on the front gate.
Doing a little reconnoiter for Wolverine Warfare, are you?
Indeed. I picked a couple ambush spots where we're going to do the trench warfare spot, new bivouac location. I put about 8 miles under my feet yesterday after driving around a ways. You know that spot where you waited the night that TJ and I and Becker came out of the woods?
Yeah, that spot that's humped out so that people don't drive over it.
Yes. Well, somebody carved a spot through the woods that went around that.
Yeah.
And so I drove around it and then drove like 2 miles out there before I got out of the truck. So those boys are going to be walking a lot.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's where we're going to be at for the Force on Force weekend on Easter. And as it turns out, you don't have to be a raging atheist to come to those classes on Easter, because Andrew is actually a very firm believer in the teachings of Jesus, and he's going to spend his Easter weekend on the range with you guys. So don't think just because it's Easter you can't come to class. In fact, some of the biggest classes I've ever taught were on Easter weekends in Pennsylvania. Like 45 people.
So is that the 18th, 19th, and 20th?
Let me go back over on the calendar.
Like the Friday,
no.
Saturday, Sunday?
No, it is Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay, so the 19th, 20th, and 21st of April.
Correct. Because Easter Monday is the day everyone gets off. More people have off Monday than they do Friday, is what I've been told. So we decided to put them on there for. You can have Good Friday at the church, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you can be out in essentially the woods, which I can promise you are closer to your maker if you spend a day in nature than if you spend a day inside. Whatever your maker you believe in. Proving Grounds in Kentucky. But hold on. But he took Proving Grounds in Kentucky and loved it. He might come to PA to take it with me. That would be awesome, Chet. You should totally bring your buddy with you, because he'll actually get a little different experience, because there's going to be 2 points of view during the Proving Grounds curriculum. So Andrew, it's Andrew's baby. But he brought me in. So if he is the band Seether, I am Amy Lee, and I'm going to add my vocals to harmonize.
That's exactly how I view you, as the Amy Lee of the tactical world.
I'm okay with that.
You need more hair, like longer hair.
I actually had a comment that was very relevant, but people would probably assume I was making fun of her, so I will refrain from using it. Remind me after we are no longer live. I'll tell you what
it is. Those are always a good one.
And I have no reason to make fun of her, so I don't want anyone to take it that way. So yeah, that should be a pretty good time.
Steven's here. Hello, sir.
He apologizes. This is not the first time he's been tardy, so now he's retardy.
Oh,
and gay.
That's okay. He gets away with a lot. He's helping out. He's helping me out this weekend.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, we're going to be installing some security systems over at the bulletin headquarters.
Is that Sunday?
It's both days. Saturday, Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was like, well, there's a workshop this Saturday. I can't make it, but that's next Saturday.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you were supposed to be in Florida this week.
I was supposed to be, but Andrew dropped the ball. So
yeah,
he's probably not even listening in the chat. Oh, there he is.
Oh, he said, "Speak of the devil, and he shall appear."
Pretty sure Easter is a pagan fertility holiday.
Following Jesus doesn't need to be commercialized. No, it doesn't. Uh-oh. Am I the only one here now? Did we lose Gary from his own live stream? This could get interesting. I don't know how to talk to a camera by myself. I usually have someone to talk to so I can converse. Steven, you've been working on a solar-powered surveillance system. That could be pretty cool. Yeah, one of the things about those surveillance systems is, the idea of what happens if they lose power. So I know there's like the uninterrupted power supplies. Some people hook them up to those. I think I have one of those. Those, it's kind of like, it seems like a fatal flaw if that thing gets cut and all of a sudden you don't have, your system anymore. Yeah. I gotta it's a good thing Gary invited me. I gotta carry this thing while he's, I guess, figuring out his system. And yes, Steven, I am usually holding hands with Max, although it's not really hands. Think of it more like, when the elephants at the parade are holding on to other appendages, something along those lines. Yep. Now everyone's commenting. Makes it a lot easier for carrying this thing. There's a guest. Says they're here, kind of. Well, I wholeheartedly agree that I deserve a raise. I am going to demand from Gary that I get paid at least 3 times as much as I normally do, which would still be nothing. Yeah, I don't get paid for all this stuff. We just do it for each other because we like each other. We're good friends. But yeah, triple the pay would be nice to kind of get compensated for helping out and making sure the stream doesn't just end. Uh-oh. Gary's sending me pictures. He apparently can't. Hold on, let me see if I can help him out. Do I need to do something here for Gary? Maybe. He's sending me messages trying to click things, but oh, there he is.
All right.
Hello, sir.
I'm gonna close this whole window and see if I'm still on there. Oh, made it.
You're back.
I don't know what the fuck happened.
What happened was I just saved your live chat. That's what happened. It's a good thing you bring me around because like classes too, I'm here to fill in when you just fall out.
Yep. I'm like, I'm done. I got to take a napper.
I just had a protein bar. It's time for me to nap.
Yeah, like the little thing where you click the toggle, like it was not clicking.
I saw that. Yeah, you sent me the little. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to figure out if you want me to go into a system somewhere and toggle something. I'm like, I can't change anything.
I was just showing that I'm still around. I sent you a message on the private chat.
I saw that.
And you're like, somebody said that they're here. I'm like, that was me.
I know. I saw it was the private chat. I'm like, well, maybe he'll make it in. So there were people commenting on things. I do owe an answer to Tim Larson on something. While you're still recovering there. So Tim, right before this live stream started, shot me a note asking me what I recommend for an antenna on radios, like basically any radio. I was wondering, what's your go-to, Gary? Because I'm pretty sure it's the same as mine.
Well, it depends.
Well, that is the yep.
That's a stock answer.
Mm-hmm.
If I have the radio in my hand or it's on my chest rig, it is the what the fuck do they call it? Like the tri-band,
The broadband 13-inch Disco 32 antenna.
That's the one.
Yes. So this one that I have right here.
That looks just like it.
Yep, Tim, this is your answer for it's. Let me first preface this by saying it is not a cheap antenna. It's the most expensive antenna I've ever bought, and I own 2 of them. As a matter of fact, I have a box over here with 2 more in it for Gary. That's how much we like these.
I'm up to 4 of them.
Yep. Well, technically, I'm up to 4 and you're up to 2.
Yeah.
Until we see each other.
I'll get 4.
Yeah. But these are the kind of go-to. They're super robust. They're not stupid long. They work really well. And they have a TNC connector on them instead of a BNC. TNC, I much prefer TNC because it creates a nice strong connection for the antenna base instead of it being like that flimsy BNC. BNC is nice and convenient for like switching antennas, but if I want something handheld and it's going in a chest rig, which usually keeps the antenna low enough where it's not like hitting me in the chin, it's kind of my go-to. I actually tend to not switch my antennas much anymore. Like I used to go with the vest mounted antenna when I had a plate carrier and all types of things. When I started running these, I just keep it real close to the body, like in the crook of my shoulder here, and it doesn't really get in the way even if I shoulder a rifle. So I'm a fan of these short blade antennas. Nerd stuff.
Yep, I like those.
Yep.
And don't you sell them?
I do. Yeah. So I'm a dealer now as of the end of February or whatever. Finally, I've been working on it for years, trying to butter up Disco 32 to say, hey, listen, we send a lot of people your way. And we've usually just been funneling people that way and they buy their own stuff. But let me help you out. Let me be a dealer. Please let me buy stuff in bulk. And that way I can just hand it to people when we see them in person. So I am finally a dealer for Disco 32. You can find stuff on the bulletin.net website. I have a shop on there now. They're not on there yet, but they will be soon. So yeah, if you want to go through us, that would be greatly appreciated. And I'll have them, like whatever I have in stock, I'll usually bring to a class. So if someone's like, hey, I need that thing. Okay, well, I got them.
I'm totally down with that. And yeah, I have spent a ton of money at Disco 32 and like thousands of
dollars at Disco 32.
And I would much have rather you kept part of that.
Yeah, me too. If only this relationship works out to being like, hey, if I sell like 9 push to talks and I get 1 free out of that because I've made enough, then I would still be down. Like I still wouldn't make any money, but at least I would, kind of supplement my radio equipment addiction. That's why people sell drugs, right? Like they get into it because they want to buy more drugs for themselves.
We, as a group of people up here that train together, spent so much money at Disco 32. There was a time when the owner of the company, Josh, called me and left me a voicemail saying that we were his best customer.
Yeah, and the Tremis Dynamics circle.
Yep. Which was surprising that it was so hard to become a dealer for them.
Yeah.
But finally, it took an in-person meeting to make that happen.
Yeah. Thanks to Will. Will's a good guy. I like him. He was the one that hooked it. We got to meet him at SHOT Show, and we basically, bent his ear and said, hey, man, can I please let me buy stuff from you? I felt like
we kept your company afloat.
I felt like Jonah Hill in 40-Year-Old Virgin when he goes into the we sell it on eBay store. Do you ever see that movie?
Nope.
Oh, it's a good movie. I just rewatched it like a couple days ago. And he goes into this store, it's one of those stores they used to have where you drop off stuff for them to sell it on eBay, but they won't sell it to somebody in person. And he's standing there at the counter just asking the girl but I want to buy this and take it home and wear it. And she's like, yeah, we don't do that here. We sell it on eBay. Like, I'm like, yeah, I just want to buy this push to talk and buy a bunch of them at a rate that isn't retail. Like, work with me here. So yeah, we this was the initial
even though
order.
Max tried to sabotage that whole
Yeah.
thing.
Hey, they got,
feel free to give Max shit about it next time you have the opportunity.
they got Tegris, or what was it? I think it was something about Tegris, or it's like a Tegris like thing.
Yep. He basically yelled, Gary, you're gay and retarded.
But
I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong. It just wasn't good timing.
Yes, no, it's true. I mean, he knows you're really, you know, you have a kink for Tegris, so he was really just trying to, like, you know, help you out.
Yep.
But it was poor timing. It was a little poor, like, okay, thanks. So about that really important business thing that we've been trying to make happen for years.
Yeah, got old Max.
At least he wasn't trying to tell us about Katanica at that moment.
That was the only time he said something other than Katanica. Well, he did often mention how AOR2 is vastly superior to Multicam Tropic.
It's true. Yeah.
He says that a lot, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I think he actually believes it too.
He must.
But this is I think this is the best thing. I know you've talked about this a bunch on your live streams or your live chats.
I was playing with one of those. In fact, it's mine's right over there on the other side of this desk.
Yep. So this is the Constant Able push to talk. It is the bee's knees. It allows this is what I really like about it. Like, this thing is versatile. Like, you're not tied to a specific microphone type with it. So we used to only be able to use like Peltor Comtacs, right? And those Comtacs were the only thing, or like, you know, who else makes those types of things? So like so Ops Core, the amps, you know, like those are very specific, and they're dynamic microphones, and you can only use dynamic microphones if you have an amped push to talk, because it's required, right? This allows you to use both amped and unamped. It switches between amped and unamped. So that means you can have a dynamic or what they call an electret microphone. Jay Gibson's here. Hello, sir.
Damn.
I picked the right night to join. Jay's here.
Yeah, no shit.
And he's probably going to fall asleep while I'm talking about like radio stuff. Boring.
Quick, talk about bourbon.
Yeah. Ooh. What I just tried some good bourbon the other night. Buffalo Trace is good. But,
my Bird Song blend from Heraclitus Select just shipped.
Oh, you got some of that?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I got to try. They had asked me if I wanted to like get in on the order, and I guess I forgot to follow up. So I'll have to try some of yours.
Well, I will certainly share it with you.
Nice. I know you're more of a rum guy anyway. I'm the bourbon drinker of the group. You know, I'll be able to actually judge whether or not it's good bourbon.
Well, you'll be my my voice of reason.
Your guinea pig. But I don't know what the hell were we talking about. The Constant Able. It's awesome. I just got my initial order of them. They will be going up on the website. I will be selling them at classes and on the website. And,
what's funny is we used to talk. I remember we chat and we were like, why can't they just put an amped circuit in there and a non-amped circuit and give me a little switch? And they said, how about we just do one better and we'll switch by itself? Okay. Right. I was okay with the manual transmission, but I'm all right with automatic.
Yeah. And it does different pinouts too, I believe. Like if you had a NATO pinout versus a European or something pinout, I forget exactly what it is.
This is what I need, and I'll reroute myself.
Yep. Yeah, which is I don't. That's some big brain stuff that I just don't understand. But yeah, they really like nailed it with the push to talk game, and it's made for us. like civilians, people that just use radios. Like
And
that's
I'm
why these guys are awesome.
Here that like isn't the part they really talk about. It has got the best fucking clip ever invented. Like it's strong,
Yep.
it's narrow enough to fit through Molly. You can mount it vertical or horizontal. And it's got big rubber teeth that interlock with each other. Not at the end, like it doesn't close with the teeth this way. The teeth go, it's like big rubber rows of teeth that interlock. So if you just put it around a shirt, like it doesn't come off.
Nope, I could hang this thing on here and it will not.
It's
like I can rip my
what
shirt.
A fucking amazing clip!
This thing will.
If they'd have just made that clip for their legacy push to talk, I'd have bought them. The fact that they gave me a kick-ass push to talk on top of it, love it. So,
yep.
Steven mentioned something a few chat comments up about EarPro. The Constant Able and the new EarPro were his missing links. And I know my buddy Nate is getting some EarPro from you. So what's up with the EarPro?
So, okay, this takes a small preface because there's 3 parts to this kind of fighting radio setup that we've been trying to figure out for years, right? The radio itself, we've talked about these before. I know you have them, the Aliens HD2s. It's a digital DMR radio. It allows for encryption if you want to do that, right? Pairing that with a Constant Able allows it to then be able to be used as a fighting radio, because without a working push-to-talk, there's no point to it, right? Yep. Like, at least for our purposes. Like, if we're going to put it in gear, it needs to connect to something. Now, for so long, the only option that we've really had is this kind of gray market, like Peltor Comtech, like world, where it's like, oh, let me drop $500+ on a used salty set of fucking, Comtacs that I don't know where they've been. I don't know if they work. I'm buying it from some weirdo. And even if they all do work, if it takes a shit, I'll never be able to get it fixed because it has no warranty, right? So like that's the world we've lived in. Like the only option, it's either that or spend even more money on fucking OpsCore amps. Some people choose to throw money at the problem, which is, and you know what? I will say for the most part, if it works, it stays working for a very long time. They're all very well made. They're made, to government standards and stuff. But at SHOT Show, and I do have to, this is a true credit that I'm going to give to Max. We were hanging out at the bar one night and he pulls me on the shoulder and he goes, Mike, you got to talk to Kyle. Kyle does EarPro stuff. And I'm like, really? And Kyle is a friend that we met while we were there through our contact. Oh God, Kurt? Why am I blanking on his name? From Curtis. Yes. It's Curtis's brother, and he works for a company called Savox. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, I'd never heard of Savox before, so I didn't put 2 and 2 together. And it turns out Savox makes headsets. They're a Finlandish European company. I don't know. One of those somewhere in Europe. They have a bunch of European contracts, and they're basically the Peltors of the European market. And they sell them for way less. I would say, let's put it this way. It's not reasonable because $500 for really anything that you put on your head is going to feel unreasonable. But compared to the other options out there, it is way more reasonable to kind of throw down $500 on a brand new set of EarPro that allow you to have a down lead that connects into a push to talk. And they're awesome. Like, by all accounts, I've been using the hell out of them. They're completely comparable in every way to Contact 5s, which is like my preferred. Like, I have a pair of 6s, love the 6s. The hearing in them is amazing, or the amplified sounds, but they also have a lot of features in them that I don't necessarily need that are cool. But you wind up paying a bunch for stuff that you don't need. This is everything that you need and none of the shit that you don't. And it's $500 brand new with a warranty. Like, I'm working with Savox, and they said, hey, we will stand by everything that we sell, and so will I as a company. So like if somebody runs into a problem with them, we can get them fixed. They're bringing in some imports to keep in the US on hand, so that in case we do run into any issues, they're going to have a couple of units here that they could hot swap out.
I know we paid like twice that,
but
for Compact 6s.
Oh yeah, I mean we do have dual leads. That is, they do not offer dual leads yet. However, if there's a big demand for them, they can make them. Like they're awesome. They're willing to roll with whatever. Like, hey, if you've got some people that really want some dual lead or dual lead noise comms, that's the model number. Noise Com 200s. We'll make them happen. They can do small runs of like custom stuff.
And I don't necessarily know if Peltor's would do something like that.
Oh no, 3M doesn't even they won't even take orders from like a company like mine. Like we met them at SHOT Show. They're like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, why don't you go talk to one of our distributors? And like the distributors that they work with are too big. Like they do nothing but sell stuff for a living, and they're like, yeah,
we don't got time to sell to you.
We don't. Yeah, do you want to buy 50 or not? Like that's the minimum
point out, I mentioned you earlier. You were like, Savox is like the European Peltor. Peltor's Swedish.
Well,
yeah. Someone at Peltor probably went, well, wait, I thought we were the European Peltor.
Well, meaning they have a lot of European contracts. Like, Peltor, I think, has like the US.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Well, I mean, I think when 3M bought them, that turned them into a no longer Swedish company.
Right. Yeah. But the legitimacy of Savox is in like their European military contracts, as well as their first responder stuff. Like they're apparently on like every fire truck in Europe. Like that, like they have military oriented stuff, but it also translates over to that first responder stuff, and that's what they're using in a lot of places. And it's all built to like military standards, so like it's submergible and like everything that you love about Comtac 5s, this does, and it does it for a way better price point. And we can get them in like different models with like different down leads and different colors. So it's like you don't have to just hope and pray that one of them pops up on Facebook someday and be like, oh, I have to act right now and plop down $700 on some dude's
hope that
salty
NCIS
contacts.
doesn't come along with them.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll have a bunch of those for sale. I put in an order for the initial run, and they take like 10 weeks, like for import, hopefully. Like I also have a bunch of radios that are stuck in import right now. One of the downsides of this whole new administration is apparently imports are taking a little longer than usual.
We'll have to live with that.
But yeah, I can live with it. Like I'll just ride it out. But yeah, it sucks when you have like 12 radios like that have been stuck in customs for the last.
Adam Hall says he would like you to bring some to the muster.
Oh yeah, for sure. They will be at the muster. Actually, I'm going to be talking to Kyle at. He's coming out for the radio class that I'm teaching in Brookville. He's going to be out there for it. I invited him, and I'm going to see if he'll come out to the muster and see what we can do about that, and maybe do a giveaway or something.
What was I going to say? Adam muster. Oh! Speaking of the muster, for those of you that were there was a teaser announcement that I made about a product from Defiant Munitions. That my today update is that they should be in hand, that product, by this muster. So, as the work has been put into that product, that is the designated time frame for those to be in the public. So if you were at the muster and you know what product I'm talking about, that was my daily update on that. I didn't even have that in my notes, but it was something to do with the muster made me reminded me. I also am going to do 2 blocks of instruction this year, and the one on Sunday will be will involve that product. And I'll tell you about that sometime when we're not live with all the people.
So you're going to be doing 2 blocks of instruction to make up for the 2 that you missed the last couple of years.
So the way the format of the muster this year is going to work is on Saturday, half hour in the morning, everyone together. We're going to do like an introduction. Hey, not like everybody tell me your name, that kind of introduction. Thanks for coming. This is how it's working. This is where you're going to go. Blah, 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 blah. And now ready, break. Then we're going to do an hour-long block of instruction. It's in an hour and a half section, but I got to do that little part in the beginning where we welcome everyone and then shoo them off to their corners. So in that hour, I'm going to use the classroom to do the block of instruction on dry fire that I've been trying to do for fucking years. So that first block will be a shortened block. And then we have a half-hour break, and we do an hour and a half block. And then we do an hour break for lunch, and then we do an hour and a half block, half-hour break, hour and a half block. Saturday's done. Maybe, because we might have a special night thing happening too. But I'm not promising that yet because not positive. Sunday, same thing. Hour-long block for the first block, half-hour break, hour and a half block, hour for lunch, hour and a half block, half-hour break, and then we'll have the longer format. What did we call it last year? Round table without a round table.
Oh yeah,
a panel.
A panel.
But since we have I'm going to call it a combatives area, the small range, 2 pistol pits, the classroom, and the 150-ish yard long shotgun bay to use, we are going to have multiple instructors teaching different things that you'll have to pick. I want to do this and I want to do that. So there might not be, you'll miss stuff, but
yeah, you have to miss something.
Yeah, there's no way around it. But I have the first block of the first day in the classroom already booked. It's the joy of making the schedule. I can pick what I want. So I did.
So I don't have to go first
I will
this
go
year?
First. I just also wanted the shorter block. So, and I figure I'll already be there talking, welcoming everyone. So it'd be a great, like, oh, well, now that we're here, I might as well just grab this Mantis Titan and talk a little bit about dry practice and carry on with that. But yeah, that's how that's working.
Cool. Well, Tom says he's stoked.
I am stoked that he will be here for the muster.
So am I. Yeah. We're going to see so many kind of new faces. Well, faces that we've talked to before, but like, new for the muster, which is awesome. Did Andrew say he's coming up for the muster this year? Yeah, he's coming up. So Tom will be here.
Sonny,
who
Zach,
else is coming?
Mike Drescher of 540 Defense. He was here at the first muster. Jonathan Aldridge will be back again.
Of course.
I do, but it's not in front of me. So Josh Prince.
He's doing a legal block, right?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be on post-incident actions, like what you should do after you've had to schwack a motherfucker. And I just talked to Matt Wyke. He is going to do a block of instruction, and it is not going to be in the classroom. So I don't know exactly what it's going to be. I actually came up with an idea with him. He did not seem the most receptive to it. So I said, I got this idea, bring some kettlebells. And he was like, okay. I said, a bunch of different sizes, and let people pick the kettlebell size that they want. and then make them use what are the lifting straps? That you use when you're deadlifting, so that your grip can be weaker and you can still hold on to the bar. But do that to the kettlebell, so it's easier to hold on to the kettlebell. So you do that, and then your partner does that, and then you kettlebell box. And like he was with me right up until kettlebell boxing, and then I think I lost him.
I mean, I bet you Zach would be in for that.
Oh, Tom says that Zach has the headgear, so put on a red beard helmet and hit that thing with a fucking kettlebell. Like some dude's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm getting the fucking 19 pood kettlebell." I don't even know how much a pood is, but I know that the typical Russian way to measure a kettlebell's weight is in poods. Yeah.
Really?
And one pood is like X number of pounds. But there'll be a guy gets that big fucking head size kettlebell that's like 35 pounds. Like, I'm going to use this. Like, motherfucker, you can't swing that thing twice. Like the guy with the 2 pound one is going to crush you.
Give me like a 5 pounder. Yeah. Need a mud pit and pudgel sticks.
But yeah, so I'm not positive what Matt's doing, but it's going to be something more physically active. And so I think in the combatives area, he's going to take the first block of Saturday or Sunday.
That's cool. Yeah, like he should just teach people how to do like proper stuff, like how to actually do a Turkish getup, like without hurting yourself.
Like we didn't really talk in much detail, but I assume it's not going to be something that requires a lot of workout equipment because, like, you'd have to bring all that. So if it was something that used dumbbells, because I've seen his home gym and there's a lot of dumbbells in it, so maybe something like that, even though I wouldn't want to drive all those all the way up here from his house. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. Who else do we got? Fucking Dave Biggers will be back. Tim Morris will be here.
Good.
Yep.
The catfish of the desert.
Hoping for my transient instructors, Jay and Calvin. That'd be awesome if they were here. They kind of wander the earth at times of their lives, so I can't promise that at the moment.
The proper term is unhoused, I think is how they refer to them nowadays. Gypsy trainers.
Yes, there is a lot of gypsy to them.
And mysticism. It all makes sense when you really think about it.
I'm trying to remember who else we got coming to the muster. The two guys on screen right now.
Yes.
Oh,
I will be there for sure.
Joel Levan of Radius Factor. He does a lot of combative stuff. He does a lot of I spent a day with him doing some like introduction to stick fighting shit, and it was awesomely fun. So he's going to do two blocks, one on each day. I think one with sticks and one with knives. Did they come?
Nice.
Oh,
I do. I mean, sticks are always around. It's good to
Reed
good
Lindauer is doing a block of instruction from
yes, Reed. First response? No.
You should.
I should know what his
I'm terrible with names, so
rapid response.
Ooh,
is it rapid?
That sounds like it's in there. Oh, God. Reed's probably like, you motherfuckers. Now he's not watching this live, so like when he is watching it, he'll be like, you fucks. You could have texted me, I'd have told you.
Hold on. I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna go to the directory on bulletin.net. Because I know he's on there. I'm pretty sure it's okay. It's rapid response. That's rapid response training.
It'd be great if Lewis would come back up, but I don't know if Lewis actually teaches. Because if you instruct classes, I should be able to go to a website and see what you do.
I keep telling, dude, like I will help you. Like, just let me make you a website. He's just it's Lewis. Apparently, he was helping out instruct at the contractor class this last week. Jay, a gentleman who I don't think he wants his name put out there, was also instructing that
The dude that
class.
killed a snake once.
Calvin, I guess. And Lewis was teaching. So I got a picture from Reed was one of the students this past week. So he sent me his bulletin notebook, and on the front was like all the instructors' names. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know all those dudes. That's a great class.
Lewis,
it's probably
I
an
believe,
amazing
is
week
in Texas at the moment. Yep,
that would make sense.
I know when.
Yep.
Fear Inoculum started today, and when that's over, I think is when isn't that when the 3-day class starts that has Andrew and Lewis? It's all right in this time frame. I just don't. Yeah. I can't keep my own fucking schedule straight, let alone Sonny's. I listened to Sonny's live stream this morning, so from yesterday. That's the only reason that I know a little bit of what's going on. Adam, it will be cool because Reed's block of instruction is going to have a car in it. I don't know what all he's doing with the car, but he was like, I'll use my car. I said, would you like a car that if it gets shot, nobody cares? Because I probably can get us one of those. He goes, well, we can, but if not, I'll bring one. So, I mean, we might see like a Virginia Beach squad car all shot up.
That would be cool.
Because if he brings a cruiser up here, I'm shooting it. And just be like, oh, it was an accident on the range.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, they'll believe that a cop shot it. Like,
they're like, well, what else? All this orange fucking shit inside. Well, when Gary shot it, he tried to cover the hole with a smoke grenade. In the
we really wanted to see. We wanted to see what would happen if we tried to introduce smoke into the car through a bullet hole.
Turns out
it worked. Turns out it works just fine.
I got some other folks I'm trying to get convinced to come up here. Well, I'd love for Jerry to come back. That would be awesome. Yep.
Oh yeah, love him. Although, just a shout out here, I saw Max, angling to try and get John up here from UW.
It would be awesome.
That would be cool.
I try not to pester him too much about the same thing over and over again.
I know. Yeah, it's only the 4th year that we've.
He sends things to give away.
Up here.
I'm like, well, you could just send yourself up here.
True. Yeah,
we certainly
would enjoy that.
Let's see. Over here on my notes, what else we got to talk about that I wanted to mention? I did spend all day Sunday, maybe. I dug through totes of gear and made myself an entirely new fucking fighting loadout and did not have to steal anything from other chest rigs and plate carriers, which tells me I got too much shit. But I set up a belt and suspenders kit. Think like Vietnam era LBE without using any Vietnam era anything. And it's pretty fucking cool. And I loaded it up with an ass fuck ton of weight and carried it around for hours, and it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, that kind of like suspender kit. Does it have suspenders on it? Yeah, it's kind of making a comeback, man. Like, I know that SOE was doing some things with that. We talked to Sam Russell on our channel, like, about, like, he's a big advocate for that kind of like LBE.
Yeah, load bearing
LBE,
equipment.
is that what they kind of call that? Like, yeah, a battle belt or suspender system, vest, whatever you want to call it. It's a way to get a lot of shit on you without like back when people were walking around outside a lot more, that seems to be a lot more.
Yeah, there's enough shit around the waist
useful.
That like sitting in a car is not awesome at all. But
yeah,
I don't. If you're not sitting in the car and you're just walking, there's a reason people ran that, because they did everything on foot. Infantry wasn't mechanized infantry for the most part. And yeah, fucking my back did not hurt. Shoulders didn't hurt. Like my hips carried most of the weight. It was pretty all right. And I'm going to run a bunch of classes too. Like I think I'm going to give it a whirl. And what I was doing was I was integrating it with my Hill People Gear kit bag, so that I could put all kinds of like admin shit up high in the front, which doesn't weigh enough to bother me in any manner. You know, it's not heavy, but I can have a map and a compass and a GPS all right here, and not be loaded with like 83 pounds of magazines up there. So,
right.
I was doing that on Sunday because in my mind I thought Wolverine Warfare, which is coming up in May, that's the kind of rig I would want to wear if I were taking it as a student. And I was like, yeah, this is what I would want. I better put that together. And I've had the gear to like the base unit from that as a Blue Force gear that they have not made in years. So I've had it for a long time, and I've never really just put the effort into setting it up. And I did because I wanted to. Actually, I was going to wear it Sunday Tuesday, Monday, when I went hiking over the dark side, and I wasn't carrying a rifle with me, so I thought it'd be stupid to carry a bunch of magazines and no rifle. So I didn't. And anyhow, but I did set it all up, and I'm totally digging it.
Nice.
But because the last week I've been very not overwhelmed, but very involved with working on Wolverine Warfare, and it gets us into an announcement and an idea that I'm going to do for the students that I'll mention to you guys as well out here in the YouTube land, and the book of the week. Those all tie into Wolverine Warfare. So the announcement is the class is sold out and you cannot come. So if you are listening to this, sorry about your luck. There is a fella who is coming who recently sustained a small injury, and if his spot becomes available, I will make an announcement if it becomes available to the general public. Because if this person, if he can't make it, has a person lined up possibly to take his spot. But regardless, it's sold out, and I'm going to do a something for the students of Wolverine Warfare, and it's going to be a video. It's going to be a private video with a set of instructions to drill you on some of the things that we're going to do at class at home as I'm not ready for this kind of, or I'm doing well, keep doing what I'm doing. And all you'll have to do is give me like 15 minutes of your time to do this and take a picture at the end. So this is something that new. I'm absolutely never done anything like this before. But I think it's going to be a cool add-on thing, and I'll start sharing it outside of the Wolverine Warfare group of students after Wolverine Warfare is over. I will tell you more about it, Mike, when we're not in front of everybody. But the idea came to me about 15 minutes before the live chat, so that was as much time as I had to do.
Yep.
Yeah,
we roll
fucking how fly. Most things come to me. I'm doing one thing, an idea hits, and I'm like, hey, how about this? And people go, oh man, that sounds great. How long have you been working on that? Just now. It's always just now.
Just imagine how cool it would be if you put
I don't know if I can even work that way.
Yeah, that's not how this works.
So the book of the week, and it is it's not a book I just finished. It's a book that, each week so far, it has been a book that I've read and I think you should read. The book I'm about to throw up on the screen is more than one book, and some of them have been read cover to cover, and some of them have been just referenced because they're more reference type books, where I may have also read the entire book, but not at any one particular time. So let me see if I can't throw you a picture up. I believe this is the picture of the book of the week. So what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. I happen to have them right here beside me. Some of them are newer purchases for me. Some of them I've had for a long time. I think I'll start with the 2 newest ones. Gorillas in the Mist by Bob Newman.
Is that the one where that like female scientist goes to the Congo and like lives with all the gorillas?
It is where a dude that wears tiger stripes went to the jungle and lived with a bunch of gorillas, but the other spelling of the gorillas.
Oh,
That's
okay.
his play on words.
Right.
You know, with that whole, was it Jane Fonda or something? That's
Jane
it.
Goodall. Jane Fonda is like,
she also went to the
Jane,
jungle,
right? She did, yeah, the North Jungle, and like where all the missile launchers.
I recently bought this book. It is short and sweet, and probably not the best value and price. And it is Fieldcraft Essentials by Redbeard Tactical. The illustrations are great, but it's short. But all the information is actually pretty good in here. I just got that and I went through it in about, I would say it would take the average person a half hour to read it if they went front to back.
And you read it like you do everything else and just like thumbed
quickly
through it like Johnny
I didn't
Five
read it quickly. So then the other books, we have Resistance to Tyranny by Joseph Martino. This is a not read front to back book. Basics of Resistance by Claire Wolfe. This is more of a read front to back book. This guy, the Guerrilla Warfare, Resistance, and Insurgency Field Manual, but I got the big print one because somebody actually typed it out in a font that doesn't suck like government manuals do. And the last one, by John Mosby, not his real name, is The Reluctant Partisan, Volume 1, The Guerrilla. Also not a book that you have to read front to back. And some of it is a little dated. But the fellow that wrote it was a Green Beret from forever ago. So he learned his trade back in the time. When I say it's dated, that's the date that he was doing his stuff. He is well retired at this point. But those are the books that I've been had my head in them recently, and so that I could steal some ideas and quotes and things like that for the Wolverine Warfare class. So those became my book of the week. Max wants me to link those somewhere. Where would you like me to link them, Max? How about I will put the link for all of them, or most of them. I do. I will put the Amazon link in the Wolverine Warfare Signal chat. How does that sound? So that you guys can do a little cheating ahead of time. 2 of them are not available on Amazon. So I'll link to where I got them. What the Redbeard one was from the Commando store. That's with a K. And they also are selling right now Gorka suits, like the Russian looking, like looks like a mop suit, but it isn't really chemical resistant. And the Reluctant Partisan by John Mosby, I think, is from his own sales only. Like,
you could make a blog article on your blog, and then just add things to it as you go along.
That's a pretty good idea there, Mike.
That's my plan for how to use the bulletin blog. Is I'm going to create some articles, some like master articles of like, hey, this is the best radio setup, and then I'll just update that and send people there instead of having to.
And that's why you are my right hand man. I can give you a better
That's true,
compliment than
yeah.
that. Would you like me to butter you up, or are you happy with Right Hand Man?
Oh, I'm fine with Right Hand Man. That already sounds way better than
Okay,
FERPA
fair
Instructor.
enough, fair enough. The thing I was going to say, you were going to be like, yeah, no, that's a little too gracious. Like, I was going to say you were like my Jay Gibson.
Oh, no.
See, I knew how that was going to go.
that's yeah. That would be man, like that strikes me here, but like that's a title that I don't think I could ever live up to. I am not that hard. Like when you say, "Oh, we used to have competitions about who's going to go sleep farther out in the woods and be more miserable throughout the night," that's not.
Well, I didn't mean
like, all right,
I meant like
you
a
go
right
into
hand
the
man
woods.
who like comes up
I'm
with a
going to
bunch
use
of
that.
good shit.
Oh yeah.
What do we got? Oh man, we're way over an hour
Stranger
already.
Hand Man.
There
That
are
too,
two other things on my list of
Yeah.
notes, so I might as well mention them. While Mike is now a dealer for a bunch of stuff that he's added, Tremis Dynamics also has a new dealership to announce. We are a dealer for Snake Staff Systems.
Great company. I like them a lot.
They are coming out with a Gen 2 ETQ. You probably can't get the Gen 1 anywhere at the moment. The Gen 2 is being spooled up, and it is a distinct improvement over the Gen 1. I have a pre-order going on. They do have a minimum advertised price. So if you are not an alumni, I am only allowed to sell 5% below MAP, which is where I'm at over on my website. But I can offer free shipping. So shipping will be free if you pre-order over on the website. There is a link on said website right there. If you are an alumni, there is a link or there's a post in the alumni group on Facebook. Because that group is private and you have to be in a group to access that private one, I am allowed to violate MAP. So I have. So if you are an alumni, there's a fucking good discount for you over in the alumni group on Facebook. At least for the pre-order, it's a pretty damn good discount. Like I ain't making shit off of them, but there'll always be an alumni discount in that private group, even after the pre-order is over. But if you want to get some Gen 2 ETQs, they still have the wide, they still have the standard width, and now they also offer them in Trainer Blue. So hit me up over there inside the group. All the comms have to start inside the group so that I can prove I did not violate their MAP by my look. It's in behind this paywall, because you had to pay me to be an alumni to get in the group. So, but that is a thing. And I did put a link if you're not in that group over there for TremisDynamics.com/medical. We have the tourniquets and their little sleeves that hold the tourniquets. The estimated ship date for them is mid-April.
Snake Staff is good stuff. Nice. I was really impressed with the improvements that they did on their stuff this year.
The windlass, when I looked at it and thought, this is way worse than the original one. Like, why did they downgrade? And then I applied it and went, this is the best windlass anybody has ever made. Why didn't everybody make it look like this? And they applied for a patent on it. So I don't think anybody else will be making a windlass that is that shape. Just a hunch.
Yeah, they took one of my top spots for gear at SHOT Show. I mean, the improvements that they did were awesome for the actual tourniquets themselves. And I love the fact that they're creating products that encourage people to have a tourniquet on them at all, like a windlass tourniquet on them at all times. I think that's like super honorable. Like that is a great thing in and of itself. But I was also really happy to see that they're making blue tourniquets, which I know is stupid. Like it's kind of silly to say like, oh, that's awesome. But it means that they're committed to training. Like, hey, we're making training gear like for people who train. And I'm like, that to me speaks volumes about because like it takes a lot of money to do that. Like for someone to like spool up new dye colors, and like it costs a bunch, and like they don't have to make blue stuff, but and I'm sure there's there's an incentive to it too, like, you know, selling stuff, but like just the commitment to say, hey, no, we're going to support the training world
many
and like
moons
the
ago,
process of training.
at a place that did some injection molding, and changing colors is a big fucking pain in the dick. And there's a lot of ones in between the color change as the plastic works its way through that just get thrown away. Yeah, they're like, oh, it's
right
blue
color.
and black swirled, and that's not okay. And they just chuck those. In order, so like for all the blue ones that they make, there was downtime during the changeover, and then that's time they're not making black ones. So,
right.
I am.
Well, let's reach out to Snake Staff and tell them like any mixed color ones that you want to that you don't want to throw out, we'll take them.
Yeah, Adam Hall says, but TCC,
oh, but they're not TCCC.
So as it turns out, the Council on TCCC has not met to review gear since 2019. And word on the scuttlebutt, I should say, is that they don't intend to ever do any gear recommendations again. The recommendations will be on best practices. So, like, nobody may have that recommendation at this point.
Yep.
Last thing I had on my list to mention was down in my office, I have a brand new, well, it's no longer brand new, Smith & Wesson M&P metal. It is metal. It's the aluminum frame one. They just released a steel framed one at SHOT. It is not that one. It's the full size, like 17 round aluminum framed one. It is certainly the prettiest gun that I own, because the aluminum it's some sort of gray looking. It's awesome looking. I have to say, a guy won it in a gun raffle, and he won like 3 guns, and he traded them all in to the local shop while I was there. And against my better judgment, I came home with that M&P. It was the best deal ever. And nobody watching this would not have bought the gun for what I paid for it. Like, everybody would have been like, I don't even like M&Ps. Right. I'll buy it. I probably could have made a $500 profit on it by just selling it later in the day. But the shocking part, I went and shot it on whatever day I went and blasted a bunch of shotgun ammo. I think that was Sunday. It has absolutely, positively the best stock factory striker fired trigger of any gun I've ever shot. I was like,
that's high praise.
Is it broke? Like, I don't remember M&P triggers. The reset isn't like kapow, like super snappy and you can hear it across the street, but pressing it, I was shocked. It was the smoothest, shortest, not lightest, but really light, like lighter than most people would want. On the trigger pull gauge at the shop, it was 3 pounds flat, like an even 3 pounds. Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Wow.
I was impressed that came stock on a gun. I was just like, wow, I didn't think that people would do that. I thought lawyers would be like, here, Corey Foreskin says he knows a guy with spare mags. I think I sold him a pile of my spare mags when I got out of the M&P game. I didn't sell them all of them. I still have like 22 mags here. So,
yeah, can't get rid of all of them.
Well, a lot of them I used because I have an M&P UTM gun, so I needed to keep a pile of mags for that.
Right.
And I kept my number 1 M&P. So, but yeah, I was shocked. So if you're all anybody out there is looking at poking around a metal M&P, it's pretty nice. Like, I'm impressed.
Yeah. I think they look fancy, and when we saw it at SHOT Show, I think we were walking around the last day. I thought it looked, it felt pretty nice. Like I'm
Yeah, I
interested to
think
go
you'd be
out
like,
and
oh,
shoot
this is
it.
really cool.
You know,
Would I change out carrying
yeah,
a macro for it? No. They both hold 17 rounds. If I ever had found myself in a position where, like, a micro gun, because a macro is still considered a micro because it's based off a 365. Like, if that wasn't approved because it was
right.
too small of a gun, I would go back to that M&P for sure. But otherwise, I don't like. I'm just going to keep carrying a macro. The M&P is just really cool, and it was such a good deal.
Yeah, you can't pass it.
So Foreskin says he'll carry it during Wolverine Warfare.
I think he was talking about.
I thought he was asking
M&P.
like borrow mine for it. I wouldn't. If I were taking it as a student, I wouldn't even carry a pistol during Wolverine Warfare. But
yeah,
I also, when I took contractor at Tactical Response, I didn't carry a pistol there either. I threw it in a bag full of magazines and left it at Partisan Rock, and it didn't. That's where it lived. And I took it home with me at the end of the day.
You never use them. If I needed one, so that guy over there, he's got a rifle up and running.
Yep.
Like
if I'm gonna transition, it's gonna be to somebody else's rifle.
Yeah, and I can carry 3 more magazines instead of that pistol.
And I can carry them anywhere I want. They don't have to bounce on my fucking hip. Oh no, Mr. Foreskin does want to borrow mine. That's a big negatron. Nice. You're not dragging my really nice pistol out into Wolverine Warfare and losing in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you lose it, you're going to go find it.
Yep.
And you're going to be walking a lot.
I'm going out Sunday on a side-by-side so that I can explore more of the area over a quicker amount of time. That's cool. I'm meeting Schick over there on Sunday, and we're gonna
make some trail,
head off into the woods.
Put some miles on
There's so many trails out there that on foot for me to like shoot down each one of them and figure out where everything ties together or any cool places that I want to use. I'm going to be out there every day between now and then exploring. But the good news is I'll drop 50 pounds because I'll be walking forever. So instead, we're just going to jump out on Friday and, cruise around and map it out. And that reminds me, Mr. Caltopo subscription. I want to print a couple of big maps from Staples. We'll have to see what sizes they print. And if you could get me a file to print from there, that'd be awesome. I figured you'd be down for it. You're going to want one too. So
yeah.
And we're going to give one to the local law enforcement of like where basically our boundaries are going to be, so that it pretty much if they get a call anywhere inside of that, they can be like, it's fine.
Yeah, we don't.
Yep, we already
those guys
know.
are fine.
They're good. Leave them alone.
If something's going,
those boys got rifles. Again,
we sure do.
All right.
Hey, while we're chatting about stuff that we're offering, I want to throw a shout out to our good friend Iron Forge Consulting Group, Jonathan Aldridge. He's put together some medical kits, the ITAC, the individual trauma aid kit, which I'm selling, by the way.
I have not seen
I don't know if you've seen them yet.
He and I have talked about them, and I think I saw a picture basically like what you got. I have not seen one in my hands.
Yep.
I didn't know it was pronounced ITAC.
It's everything you need.
The IT-AK.
IT-AK. No, when Jonathan was here doing a private class in the Easton area, and we did a podcast with him, we convinced him, like, hey man, you need to start selling some gear. Like, you need to sell your trauma kit. Like, what do you recommend? So he's finally done it, and I want to pimp him as much as I can for the ITAC. It's got everything you need in it. Like it's a IFAC type thing, tourniquets, quick clot, combat bandage, you name it. Pair of shears in there. So like those are for sale. I'll have those with me at any classes that we're doing. And Jonathan's coming to Wolverine Warfare, so I'm sure that might be something that we talk about as well in terms of like what do you need on you for medical stuff. But yeah, he's put a lot of effort into like crafting like the right kit at the right price point, because like like there's not a lot of people out there that sell like, well, there's a lot of options. Let's put it that way. There's a lot to consider. So he's done a really great job at kind of like making the curated.
Do you have
IFAC.
a link for that?
I almost just knocked over my whole kit. Yeah, I do. I can get
you throw it in the chat? Will it allow you to?
Oh, you know what? I am an admin, so I can do that in the YouTubes.
You can always throw it in the private chat window. And I will add it in and drag it over to the other one if you want.
I just threw it in the YouTube chat. Oh, wait. I threw it in with the wrong account. Because it won't come in as a
Where's Crystal when you need her?
I know, right?
There we go. Awesome.
There you go. So yeah, if anybody's looking to pick up a really good trauma kit, we'll have I got like 20 of them. So we'll have those with us too.
Awesome.
But it's good stuff.
All right. So I guess that covers everything I had on my list.
Yeah. We got through a lot, and just like usual, we went over because of me.
It is.
It's all my fault. I mean, you did disappear for a portion, so
I had to, you totally either ruined my entire program or you brought it out of the Stone Age. Yep.
One of the two. It's nothing in between. It's just it's either down in flames or exalted. Like that's the.
All right. So then I guess we will pop smoke and call for a hot extract or something.
Yeah.
And I'll be back here next Wednesday. I will probably see you. I was thinking about heading down there on Saturday.
You should.
With the other fellas that are coming down. And well, a fella that hurt his back, who was not sure he was going to be able to do Wolverine Warfare, has a replacement. So if you were looking for maybe a spot opening up, didn't happen. Huh. That light just, oh, that's a battery powered light. I've been using it for weeks. It's a good battery. But yeah, just got a message. And I'll have to do some adding to the group on Signal. But to give you all a hint, there might be a gold AK at Wolverine Warfare.
I don't know who owns
do
a gold
you
AK.
Know that?
Oh, I know exactly who owns a gold AK.
That's the guy.
Yep. I was like, wait, a real gold? Oh, I know someone who Krylon golded an AK.
Yeah, he's the one guy that if he had a real gold-plated AK, yeah, also would have been shocked.
Yeah, it wouldn't seem that off.
All right. So that fella's
awesome.
Then I guess we'll get out of here, and I will see you on Saturday. I'll see the rest of you on Wednesday. Guess that's it.